What's the first thing that pops into your mind when you hear Africa? Maybe it's the Serengeti Plains, vibrant music and art, or even the majestic pyramids. But let's face it, thanks to how media often portrays us, some of you might also think of stereotypes. However, today we're going on a journey to discover the real Africa that's often flying under the radar. You might be surprised to learn that beneath its diverse landscapes and cultures, Africa is home to some incredible success stories and thriving economies, proving there's more to this amazing continent than meets the eye. Get ready to uncover some fascinating facts about the wealth of African nations. You might be surprised to learn that beneath its natural beauty and rich heritage, Africa boasts significant economic powerhouses. Take, for example, Nigeria, often called the Giant of Africa with an impressive 196 million inhabitants, making it the continent's most populous nation. Now, you might think a population this large would be overwhelming, but remember, every mouth also has two hands ready to work. This incredible workforce is just one factor driving Nigeria towards becoming a major player in Africa's economic scene. Let's dive into what makes Nigeria's economy so vibrant. With over 90 million young minds under the age of 18, it's no wonder they hold the third spot globally in youth population, right behind India and China. But what's the secret to their impressive GDP of 176 billion? The answer lies in a mix of natural resources and thriving sectors. Rich reserves of cocoa, rubber, and most importantly, crude oil have significantly contributed to Nigeria's wealth. Plus, agriculture, which makes up 18% of the country's GDP and almost a third of job opportunities, is another key player in the Nigerian economy. This blend of industries has truly set them on their path to becoming an economic powerhouse. Now, are you ready for our next stop? Get ready to be amazed by South Africa. This country truly embodies what it means to be diverse, from their vibrant mix of cultures and ethnicities to the incredible variety of languages spoken there. They're so proud of this uniqueness that they're often called the Rainbow Nation, showcasing just how much they value their multicultural community. And it's not just their society that's thriving. South Africa's economy is also on a roll, with a GDP reaching an impressive 149 billion. It's clear that their forward-thinking approach has played a huge part in this success story. Let's see what other fascinating facts we can uncover about this incredible nation. Let's shine our light on Egypt, number 3 on our list. What makes Egypt truly stand out is its incredible history. We're talking about a civilization that dates back to the mind-blowing 6th to 4th millennia BC. That's over 5,000 years of rich culture and heritage. And today, this vibrant Islamic nation is home to an astonishing 97 million people who are all working together to propel their country forward. It seems they've made some amazing progress, with a GDP that's definitely on the rise. It's time to find out just how far they've come. Now let's look at Egypt's impressive numbers. A staggering 135 billion GDP, that's no small feat. Their successful export game, featuring petroleum, cutting-edge tech like insulated wire and video displays, as well as luxurious gold, has been a major contributor to this incredible achievement. Now that we've given Egypt some love, it's time to move on to number 4, Algeria, the largest country in Africa, and as you might expect, one of its richest too. So, where exactly does this massive wealth come from? Well, it all boils down to Algeria's incredible mineral resources, with petroleum and natural gas taking center stage. These powerhouses make up the bulk of their exports. Think mined or manufactured goods. Don't get me wrong though, agriculture plays a role, but not as big as you'd expect. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Algeria ranks 16th globally in oil reserves, and an impressive 2nd in Africa. They also have the 9th largest natural gas reserves worldwide. No wonder their GDP is at 170 billion. But here's another interesting fact. A large chunk of this wealth goes into what else but defense. Yep, Algeria boasts the biggest defense budget on the entire continent. Let's dive into number 5, Angola. You might be thinking, Angola, isn't that a country struggling with poverty? And guess what? You're right. Despite reaching an impressive 124 billion in GDP, poverty is still very much an issue here. The picture that comes to mind when we think of Angola isn't one of wealth and prosperity. It's actually quite the opposite. But what's behind this stark contrast? Let's dig deeper. Angola's explosive growth, fueled by a treasure trove of minerals and petroleum, has catapulted its economy into the top fast growers globally. However, beneath this economic boom lies a harsh reality: extremely low living standards and life expectancy rates that leave much to be desired. Unfortunately, Angola also holds another unenviable record: alarmingly high infant mortality. The root cause: a perfect storm of unequal wealth distribution and corruption. Now, let's move on to number 6, Sudan. If you've ever had the chance to visit or live in this country, you'll know firsthand that it's grappling with an overwhelming set of challenges crumbling infrastructure, and politically charged conflicts being just a few. You might wonder how a country struggling with so many issues can still have significant wealth. After all, Sudan's impressive 117 billion GDP could indicate prosperity for its citizens. But the harsh truth is that despite this economic might, millions of Sudanese people continue to live in poverty or hover just above it. So, where does that leave us? The answer lies in a deeply skewed distribution of resources. One area bucking this trend is tourism, and here's why. Ancient pyramids and rich history have become major drawcards for Western visitors, injecting much-needed funds into the local economy. Let's move on to number 7, Morocco. When we think of Morocco, vibrant markets, stunning mosques, and majestic mountains usually come to mind. But let's flip that script, because with a whopping 109 billion GDP, Morocco is actually one of Africa's economic powerhouses. You might be thinking, but wait, isn't Morocco an oil-rich nation? Not quite. The secret to Morocco's wealth lies in a lesser-known superstar, phosphorus. This crucial mineral makes up a huge part of the country's exports and has catapulted Morocco into the third-largest producer globally, giving it a significant economic boost. Let's give a shout-out to two key players that also contribute to Ethiopia's impressive standing: the thriving textile industry and tourism, which are major revenue generators for this East African gem. Now, let's talk about the numbers. With over 102 million people calling it home, Ethiopia boasts the second-largest population in Africa. But here's an interesting fact: despite being landlocked, Ethiopia is actually the most populous country without a direct coastline, adding another layer of complexity to its economic landscape, and making it all the more remarkable that it's one of the world's fastest-growing economies. You might be thinking, what's behind Ethiopia's remarkable GDP growth of nearly 1 billion? Well, it all starts with its people. With over 102 million strong, they've been the driving force in pushing Ethiopia's economy forward. Agriculture plays a massive role, accounting for almost half of the country's GDP and providing a whopping 85% of all employment opportunities. That's a huge workforce. While there was a slight dip from 103 billion back in 2012 to 1 billion, it seems like things are now on the upswing again. All right, let's get to our next fascinating fact-filled destination, Kenya. Get ready for some exciting facts about Kenya. This East African gem is quite the contrast. It's actually one of the world's smaller countries by land size, ranking 48th globally. But don't let its size fool you. Kenya has over 52 million people calling it home, making it the 27th most populous country worldwide. That's a pretty high population density. Now, when it comes to money matters, Kenya is doing all right for itself. Its GDP stands at around 5 billion. A significant chunk of this wealth comes from agriculture, where tea, coffee, and other crops like corn and wheat are in high demand. Tourism also plays an essential role in Kenya's thriving service industry, despite facing some challenges due to security concerns and negative publicity. Despite these hurdles, the country is working hard to bounce back strong. Let's head over to Tanzania, Africa's natural treasure trove. This East African gem boasts incredible wilderness areas and a majestic crown jewel, Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest peak in Africa. It's no surprise then that tourism is the driving force behind Tanzania's economy, contributing significantly to its impressive GDP of around 2 billion. However, before you start planning your dream vacation here, keep in mind that you might face some challenges communicating with locals due to language barriers. So don't forget those translation tools or learn a few key Swahili phrases to make the most out of your adventure. So, Tanzania relies heavily on Swahili as its primary language, with English mainly used for international trade and education, a trend that might shift in the future. But there's another important thing to consider when planning your trip. Agriculture is the backbone of this East African nation, making it super sensitive to changes in climate and environmental conditions. Now, which African country is at the top of your bucket list? Share with us in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more travel insights like this one, and check out our other videos. We'd love to hear what you think about them. That's all for today's video, folks. If you want to stay updated with the latest edutainment content from our team, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. We're always sharing